Welcome back, folks, to Get a Grip on Life show. On today's show, we have Kareem Marshall of Tnetwork. It's interesting. I'm not going to tell you much about it, but if you're into entrepreneurship, investing, cryptocurrency, or Forex, you might like this show. One more quick announcement. I brought a co-host in. We got the interim co-host, Desi Ste, the super salesman, coming in. What do you got to say to all the peeps out there, buddy?
Co-host is the coolest job in the world.
Boom. So with that said, here comes another episode of the Get a Grip on Life show. Welcome to the Get a Grip on Life podcast, Kareem.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Say hi to my new co-host, Desi Ste, interim.
How you doing?
Good, Kareem. Welcome.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about where you grew up, Kareem.
Mississauga, born and raised.
Born and raised in Mr. Mississauga. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And you grew up what? Typical middle class guy, or?
Yeah, actually, my childhood was, I wouldn't say rough, but I went through some stages where, single parent. So my mom was working extremely hard. So I had to essentially just focus on what I was doing with sports and schools. And my brothers were pretty much taking care of me for the most part.
So your dad wasn't in your life?
No, passed before I was born.
Lots of brothers, though.
Yeah.
How many?
2 older brothers. 4 years apart and 14.
You guys still close?
Yeah. One's in Atlanta and one's in Scarborough.
Cool.
Yeah.
So where did you, how did you started Tnetwork?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Toronto Network? Is that what it stands for?
It stands for Tnetwork.
Tnetwork, okay.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about how you start. How long ago did you start it?
That started roughly 2015. And the whole concept was the fact that anything you do in life, you need a network. Whether it's, barbers, and doing a nail salon, whether you're doing clothing, everything we do in life is networking. And we've been doing that for our whole lives. So we felt that if we were to bring a platform to the average person saying, if you want to do more and essentially use your network to determine your net worth, we have the platform for you.
Okay. I actually am very big on networking. And one of the things that has helped me in my business is I joined a lighting association, an American lighting association of guys who did the exact same thing I did every day, except in other cities. And so we get together 2 or 3 times a year and we, figure out the industry and so on and so forth. Is that what the network is?
To a certain degree.
Okay.
We just give the average person accessibilities to technology, their networks, the net worth, because we feel like a lot of people are going through the same, let's just say, patterns: school, job, retire, and then that's it. So we feel like there's a lot more that people need to open their eyes and feel like there is another option.
Okay.
So we're just providing options to people. I feel like in life we want options, but not a lot of people foresee exactly what's out there.
Can we drill down on that? I'm not really sure what you're providing, though. You're providing access to networking tools. Are you providing a club? Is it a lunch program where you go with? I entered many of those. You do lighting. You do your things for networking. We did speakers clubs. Just a great way to get down and get in a room with 50 people, 50 strangers, and get to meet them. But I'd like to hear more about the high level of what you're providing.
So more or less, like I said, it's just a network, and we're showing people how they can use their smartphones and technology to access social media when it comes to the Forex market, just being financially aware of what's happening. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of money made on social media. There's a lot of money made behind the Forex market, cryptocurrency market, and stock market. So we're showing people how to use our platform to essentially share this with their network.
Let's unpack one of those at a time.
Sure.
Okay. So the average person that comes to the network, how old are they?
Average, I would say about mid-20s.
Mid-20s? And they have trouble using social media?
No.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
No, mid-50s have trouble.
Yeah, like me, trying to figure out Instagram here. I mean, it's like, but I see the power of it. Okay, definitely see the power of this. And Matt's introduced me to that. So tell me a little bit more about this Forex. Are you teaching, are you advising people to invest and speculate in foreign currencies?
It's not more or less speculation. It's more or less having the education, because we already know that people can trade in the markets, but typically people don't get involved in the market because of lack of time, money, and knowledge. So our company shows the education that we have. We have experts that have over 6 years experience in the markets. We have technology, algorithms, and super artificial intelligence going to be able to give you notifications to your phone telling you when's the best time to invest in the markets. So it kind of eliminates the whole risk factor. What you do with it is entirely up to you. They're just doing the education portion of it.
I wouldn't say it eliminates the risk factor.
Well, okay, let's just say we shrink it, because a lot of people, they feel like, I don't know how to invest. I don't want to enter the markets. I don't want to lose money. But if we show you a proven system, we have a track record that is extensive. If we show you how you can, let's just say, put your money to work using this platform, you'll be able to see some results.
You don't need a license from the Ontario Security and Exchange Commission to do this?
No.
Huh.
So what part of that is your club, is investing and teaching them how to invest? Is that 50% of?
Let's not get in crypto. Let's stay in the Forex here for a bit, though. Yeah.
I like Forex a lot, though.
Well, I'm just saying in general, whatever the investment is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't care what the investment is, but is that 50% of what you're doing with when you're teaching them how to network and how to use their technology, or?
Well, for the most part, just understanding that using technology is going to be able to give you the information on how to invest. So what you do with it is entirely up to you.
Okay, so you're saying that these 20-year-olds come into your shop, whatever, 20, early 30s or whatever, they come in, they sit down with the network and you say, hey, social media and your smartphone is not just about connecting with your friends, it's about making money?
Absolutely.
And then you guide them towards investing in Forex and in cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, we more or less show them how the platform works, how simple it is to receive the information, how to input it through different applications on your phone, and then obviously through that you're leveraging your income now utilizing the system.
Now, this is a platform that you've created.
No, I'm a distributor of a company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the company called?
It's called Kuvera Global.
Okay, Kuvera Global. How do I spell that?
Kuvera.
Kuvera, Kuvera Global.
Yeah.
Okay. Who runs that? Who's the guy in charge of that?
There's 4 co-founders, and they originated in Utah.
In Utah?
Yeah.
Are they Mormons?
No.
You don't know?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
4 of them, they have experience on Wall Street, so their whole mission was to bring Wall Street to Main Street, and just utilizing the services that they have, a lot of people are seeing success worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of success have you had with this?
I was able to walk away from my job back in 2016, and I pursue this on a full-time basis.
And so your pursuit, is it investing in the Forex more, or is it investing? So you're making your money in Forex. Now, why would you bring me in? What benefit do you have to bring me in? Do you get like a little commission if I come into the group?
Well, how it works is what you invest is entirely up to you. I don't see it. I just show you how to utilize the platform, and the company does something very genius. They say if you wish to share it, you can make monthly passive income. So just through that, I was able to take a portion of that, reinvest it in my platform, and now my money is making me more money. So you can either be a customer or to be a distributor, but we understand that we're already on social media anyways, promoting and advertising for things we never get paid for. So the company says we're not going to spend money in advertising. They see more value in relationships. You know, word of mouth marketing is right there.
So they teach you how to trade, how to use the tools to trade. They don't take any points on your successes.
No.
But you have to obviously have a membership in this club to.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we calling it a club? This group?
It's the network, man.
Yeah.
It's the network, bro.
Yeah.
Tnetwork.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. But the network is yours.
The network, yes. So myself and 2
Kuvera
other partners.
Global is your distributor of Kuvera.
Exactly. So we're more or less a team in the GTA. We formed, and we called it Tnetwork, and we're essentially the brand pushing the brand of Kuvera Global.
Huh.
And how's your numbers? In your is it a franchise licensing arrangement?
Yeah. So personally, I have over 350 people worldwide on my team utilizing the services, whether they're a customer or a distributor.
And you've been at it how long?
I've been involved in this since 2015. Myself and 2 other business partners, we helped pioneer it in Canada.
I'm very suspicious of what you do.
I like that.
Okay.
Because I hear it a lot of times.
Yeah,
people say,
dude.
it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
But it's like,
why?
I'm thinking
why wouldn't
points
it?
on the trade or something?
I'm thinking, why wouldn't people want this to be true? The fact that we're publicly traded, which means every 3.5 months we're audited by the government. We show our track record, our wins, our losses.
So you're saying the UNES is a publicly traded company in the U.S.
Yep.
Matt, while we're talking, why don't you throw Kuvera Global up on the screen there while so people can see it?
What is the listed company? Kuvera's listed?
Yeah.
Or
Kuvera Global.
Do you have their ticker?
Yeah. It's INVU.
INVU.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and that's the publicly traded company, and you roll up into that, so your numbers are in their financials. They're
exactly.
audited financials.
Yes, every 3.5 months.
And how do you rate as far as globally? How many? I'm sorry, is it franchises? Do you have? What do you own?
You can say franchise.
Okay,
yeah.
how many franchises have they sold so far, geographically? Or
that number changes. There's so many people because we operate in 75 plus countries, so it changes drastically.
Jeez,
Yeah.
75 countries.
Yeah. If you look on betterbusinessbureau.com, rated A+.
See,
So
see,
we're very
I see
credible.
Michael, if they've got 75 people or 75 countries times X number, yeah, there's a lot of people like that out there.
Yeah.
That's,
for sure.
Those are stupid numbers. So that's thousands and
Yeah, yeah.
thousands
Oh, yeah.
of.
Oh, yeah.
You got 300 in 3 years.
Yeah. And it's growing constantly. Like I see my email, and every day I see 5 to 10 people getting started.
What's the average person? So people are taking their savings and they're investing it through Kuvera Global.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you start. Right? So you have your job, you're working at wherever, you're working for Atlas Lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Someone like Kareem comes along and says, hey, man, you don't have to work for the man. You can come and do
Pretty much.
You can come. There it is up there. You can do this and spread the word and invest your own money, and then you can be independent and have your own job and have your time back and have your days back and manage your own life. That's the message.
It is. In a nutshell, the fact that we dabble in different industries allows people to find their niche. Because a lot of people say, maybe I'm not into Forex, well, we have cryptocurrency. If you're not into cryptocurrency, we have stocks. If you're not into stocks, we have ways that you can take advantage of your tax deductibles. We have Credit Pro, which allows people to repair their credit. So we have different, let's just say, tools that people can utilize to actually make their money work for them versus working for money.
Now, your demographic, it's 20-somethings.
It's wide.
Does it get beyond that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be your bulk, because if I were in my 20s.
I think his demographic is people without access to the stock market and the markets in general. It's anybody that doesn't know that.
Well, it wants to be, and that your 20s coming up. You want to tell a story. Hey, I got $1,000 that I invested, and this is what's been going on with it. And now it's $1,200. I mean, that's a good story. Anybody who hears that and doesn't invest, they want to be a part of it. How can I do this?
And not only that, I mean, if you could just educate somebody on what they're typically getting from their banks, when you show them our track record, let's just say 1% a year of what your bank typically gives you. If you can show somebody a way to get 80% a month in their money and you show them, it's a lot more enticing.
Now you lost me, man. 80%.
80%. Like it's crazy numbers.
You just
like,
lost me, bro.
I don't. That's the thing. Imagine if I told
That's
you.
like the
if
inflation rate of the country of Venezuela or something.
If I told
Come
you
on.
our cryptocurrency rate,
Listen,
you wouldn't even believe
cryptocurrency.
me.
Tell us about your losses now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We do have some losses. I'm not
course you
trying
do.
to tell you that it's the financial markets. You're going to win, you're going to lose. But the fact that our wins outseed our losses, that's the most impactful thing.
So what's your profit and loss? What's your delta there on the wins versus the losses?
Let's just say out of 10 trades, you'll win 7 out of 10.
Which is exceptional, and you still you talk about 80%.
I think you're talking about individual victories.
Up to. It depends, because at the end of the day, let's just say, I have $10,000 that I'm investing, and then somebody who's a student that has $200 investing, you're not going to make as much money as somebody has $10,000. So obviously, the more money you leverage, the more returns you'll see, the higher returns.
It doesn't change the percentage, though, does it?
Yeah, not more or less no. More or less no. But it depends, because let's just say I receive a notification. We're all part of the Kuvera Global platform. We all receive the same notification. Excuse me. If I take control of this alert here and I input the numbers, I can make money. But let's just say you don't. You're busy. You're at work. You're with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. You don't utilize this alert. You're not going to make money in that aspect.
So let me tell you something. So he has 5 kids. I have 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have girlfriends, but
we can't afford them.
Yeah,
Maybe Michael can.
Maybe we need to talk more about this.
But my wife doesn't watch any of my podcasts. Don't worry. Caroline hasn't even watched one podcast.
Hey, not yet. We're in 2019. Things may change.
At least she dresses you for them anyway, though. Hey, did I see those curtains in your house? I wonder where they went to. Caroline wanted them out.
So for all those who aren't watching, I have a kind of like a tracksuit top on with all sorts of beautiful flowers embroidered into them.
Some may call it a top or a blouse.
So if my daughter came home, she's 15 right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say she was 21 or 23 or something like that, in your demographic.
Mm-hmm.
She comes out to me and says, Dad, I met this guy, Kareem Marshall. He's so awesome, and he's going to show me how to make money. I would immediately go, man, no chance.
It's funny because I hear it. I still hear it. I remember when I first started, my mom was like, what are you doing? This is not going to work. Just stay with your job. Because I went completely against the grain. My brothers went to school. I actually finished my degree. I got my degree in criminology, but I felt like there were other ways to make money. I felt like I don't want to settle. So I was looking for other ways to make money. I thought what are the wealthy people doing in the world? They're not trading time for money. They're trading money for money. So if I can implement that same money-making principle, I can be well off. I was looking online, found nothing. Old colleague of mine showed me this. I was like, trading money with money makes sense. I don't know too much about it, but I'll figure it out. It was only $200 to start off at that time. I was like, some people spend that a night at the club. They don't remember the night.
Is that what your monthly fee is for getting the alerts? $200?
$199 a month. But if you
I don't know what clubs you go to where you can spend $200. I mean, it's a lot of money to get a beer in Toronto now, bro.
Oh, I know. Things have changed. I know, 100%.
It's a lot of money, bro.
Especially if you go with your family.
So, okay, let me just dive back here. Okay, so what's your financial literacy? So, I'm going to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very high level of financial literacy, but it's not from school.
Mm-hmm.
It's from hard-won truths in the trenches in business.
And a lot of losses.
Of course.
Yeah, dude.
Of course.
Like wins and losses and looking at things and investing and different sort of stuff. I started this studio, this sort of stuff. I'm a businessman, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I respect that.
Yeah, thank you. The lack of financial literacy. Now, I would look at someone like you. How old are you?
30.
30. And you're doing this. I would say that, okay, tell me what you know when you refer to financial literacy. What are you talking about?
I know that working a job is not going to land you to be financially free.
Okay.
Because I know, let's just say, you get laid off, fired. You got to go through the same process and beg somebody to hire you. And at the end of the day, your boss controls you.
I'm going to comment on that. Kareem is 100% right about that. That is true. Being an employee, and Desi can attest to this, being an employee is way riskier than being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is way more secure than it is. I'm the boss. If I manage my company right, I'm as secure as it gets.
Absolutely.
And Desi, I don't know if he wants to tell a story, but maybe we'll get back to you. But Desi's been a victim of, cuts and everything else.
Many times. But it's always always take the risks. I always work commission jobs most of the time. And when you're working commission jobs, sometimes you can say, listen, let me take a higher risk. I'll take a lower base to go for a higher payoff, higher points.
Right.
And I always took that risk. Now, the risk is the word, right? You're talking about how you mitigate risk with the algos that your experts give you. But the risks that we're talking about in business, you have to be comfortable with the level of risk, and that's everything, right? When you're in your 20s, I just wanted to be in the market. I wanted to, when I met a girl in the bar, I could tell her a story. Oh, I made this much money. So you wanted to be an interesting guy, right? The Dos Equis commercials are real. The most interesting guy tells a good best
That's
stories.
me, buddy.
You tell the best stories. Like the time he was arrested and he still sold the cops.
That's some good ones. So let me go back to that. But that's marketing. That's not financial literacy. So the fact that you know that being an entrepreneur or owning your own business is by far the least risky financial choice you can make. And you know that because whether you succeed or fail at that, you're going to learn some hard truths about the world that are very, very valuable. Okay, so whether you win or lose as an entrepreneur or whatever, it's a better choice. Now, it's not for everybody. Okay?
Absolutely not.
But that's not financial literacy, Kareem.
When it comes to
that was life strategy, right?
That's
more
strategy.
more of a principle, let's just say.
Yeah.
So like here, I'll give you an idea. Like financial literacy would be like, buy for $1 and sell for $2. That's a good strategy. If I'll tell you right now, you could go to some corporate companies that are listed on the exchange and tell them, hey, I got a strategy for you. What's that? How about buy for $1, sell for $2? Right? It's actually very simple.
Or sell for $2, then buy for $1.
Right? Yeah. Whatever. Like you can actually dive into that strategy, right? But tell me about your financial literacy, because I'm not sure that you are financially literate. I think that might be a marketing thing within the network or within Kuvera Global. But what do you know about finances? What do you know about it?
Tell you the real?
Yeah, real.
Not much.
Okay.
But I do know that.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Absolutely, because if you look at it, school didn't teach us that stuff.
No, it's a disaster, dude.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
The fact that, I came out of school and not knowing, I really had to make money work for me, I felt like I was just kind of trapped.
It's a disservice, dude.
Yeah. Like I'm doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. How am I going to essentially alleviate stress? How am I going to elevate? There were so many factors that I said, you know what, if I surround myself with people that know how money is made, by default, I'm going to pick up on some stuff.
For sure.
You know what I mean? They say the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. So at that time, I had to completely wipe out my circle, changed it completely, and now I'm in a better environment.
That takes guts, man.
That's good.
That takes
That's
guts.
wisdom too,
Good
man.
for you, man.
I appreciate
That's
it.
fantastic, bro. I love that because
We
you know
talked
so
about
many
that all the
people.
time.
So many people are hanging out with losers.
Scratching with the turkeys,
Facts.
man.
Yeah, 100%.
What's that line? Yeah,
Scratching with the
soar
turkeys.
with the Eagles, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, your choice.
So you know what? And I'll tell you this: most successful people, if you can get in with them, shake their hand, be polite, check your ego at the door. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You'll realize that they'll like you, man. They'll help you. Most of I'll tell you this: of all the people that I've met in the lighting business over the years, the guys that were the most successful, when you had 5 minutes to talk to them, they would give you more value in that 5 minutes. They would ask you a couple questions about your business. What's going, do this. One guy told me, this was a great story. I'm like, oh man, you got a great business. He had like 40 trucks on the road doing lights for the state of Florida, all that sort of stuff. Old guy. And he's like, I said, what's the secret? What's the secret? He turns to me and goes, Michael, the higher you go, the more you can charge. So his bucket trucks, he had the highest bucket trucks in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, hey, you need to go high. So he had the little secrets like that, and you learn that. Now, I ended up not doing that kind of business just for a lot of reasons, but it's little things like that that you get, okay, so it's about ability to do it.
The
or
value.
whatever. The value,
Absolutely.
dude. It's so valuable. I know the basis of his business.
And that's supporting exactly what you're into, which is you're making a network of like-minded individuals who want to be somewhere, who don't want to just
Stay stagnant.
plan
and-
for the weekend.
Exactly. Or live for the weekend.
Live for the weekend.
Yes.
Do I have enough beer money? Yeah,
No.
but what you've done already, and you've said a couple key things, which is nice to hear, is you're looking at a life strategy. He asked you about financial literacy. You talked about your life strategy, which is fantastic. And then putting together a network where you pull in, get a chance to meet other like-minded individuals, which is one of the motivations you said for being involved in this, which was
I want to meet people like you. Like
It's
it's
important. I wanna
meet
it's
some great
exciting to meet
people.
people like you. It's really exciting for
Very
me.
important.
I'm honored, man, because you meet people that are out there. First of all, going on the internet and talking about what you do for a living, that takes guts, bro.
Absolutely.
Takes guts. I don't care
Absolutely.
who you are, because I'm not going to give you a free pass here, The other thing, just about the losers you're hanging out with, I'm going to tell you right now. Here's a couple tips, folks. If your friends complain about their boss a lot, how much their boss is a loser, they're a loser. Okay? That's the number one sign, because if you're working for a loser, what does that say about you? Okay?
couldn't
Why
agree
would you spend your days with a loser? Okay?
The majority of your day.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna. You have an absolute. Your friend. You tell your friend right now if he's a loser like that. Say you have an absolute obligation to quit your job right now because you're making everybody's life miserable where you work.
That is the hardest thing I think I've ever faced in my life,
What's
though.
that?
Well, the quick background, I grew up never being told, we don't quit. You don't quit in this world. Quitters never win, whatever, which is a big lie. You've got to quit certain things to be
To find out what.
to be in the right thing. If you're in the wrong thing, if you think you're going to not quit the wrong thing, I mean, there's no hope for you.
That's the
And
worst
what
advice
Michael-
ever. If you're in a bad relationship, quit now.
Well, that's work, right? Job, relationship, you have to be a quitter. The best, most successful people quit the things that didn't work for them so they could get to the things that did work.
Stop wasting time.
And quitting
That's
a
right.
job where you're getting paid and you've got a rhythm, but you're surrounded by losers, but you're getting paid and you're paying off bills and you're paying off debt.
No, what I'm
It's
talking
hard.
about is the loser. If you're
It's still the brave move.
if
It's
your
the right
buddy,
move.
yeah, but if your buddy's go, my boss is such an asshole, he's a loser, blah, 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 I was 5 minutes late. That dude, show up on time, man. What's your problem?
It shows that he's comfortable with his circumstances.
Yeah. So hey, tell me a little bit more now, because I am the biggest skeptic
Let's
on
go.
earth
I hear it all. Let's
with
go.
cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think it is a total scam, the whole thing. Now, do people make money on it? Absolutely. Okay.
Well, it's another thing to trade, so there's money
Yeah,
to be
it's just
made.
like it's speculation,
There's
right?
pros and cons to everything.
Okay, so cryptocurrency, which one's the best?
Yeah, it's in the future of it.
It's hard to say. I mean, there's over 2,000 coins.
Sure.
And they're still growing. So the fact that the average person doesn't really know anything about cryptocurrency and to say which one's the best, that's hard to say. I like Ethereum.
Ethereum's the number one.
Toronto
out there,
based.
yeah.
I like it. I have a few coins in that. I have Litecoin. I have some Bitcoin. There's so many. But I just, try to hold on to as many as possible. I also trade it here and there just to make sure that I don't miss out on that wave like we did in Bitcoin back in 2008. Really, I don't know
when
if
it
you
was
guys know.
pennies. Yeah, it was pennies, and then it went to what?
Up to 20
bucks?
20,000 US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it now?
Right now,
or something?
no, I think it's like maybe at 8,000-9,000.
So I'm a gold guy.
This is Matt here,
yeah,
and
Matt.
we're sitting at 3,600 US.
Ooh,
Oh, look at that.
how are those coins now?
Look at that. And it's just crazy to know that. Like, just say back in 2008, if you invested $5 in Bitcoin as of
So
last
that was
year.
Yeah, but
that was
but
the
if you
thing,
did it
though.
when it was 19 grand,
Yeah,
you-
but
I
exactly it.
know that, but that was the
Waves.
thing for
There's always
university
waves in and out.
students. I listened to a couple of podcasts by university people, and they were saying, "Yeah, I do crypto and I do drop shipping," and this was the way they made money at university. One was anytime a new currency dropped, where they had a what's it called? Not an IPO, an ICO.
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 An ICO. Thanks, man. Anytime they did an ICO, all these kids were buying it. And they just sat on it. So they're buying it, I assume, for pennies and just hold it for years.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Hold
crazy.
it for years.
Like, I know some people that were playing
Is that
games.
your strategy as well, or look for the new ones, or
Not more. I just wait for my alerts, to tell you the truth.
Oh,
I don't
I see.
have time to focus on
Okay.
researching
so
that.
somebody in Utah is tracking all this and sending alerts your way, and you send them everywhere else, and that's the model. So we're looking at four
And-
Wall Street experts.
Matt, do me a favor. While you're at it, get me on the screen there on the internet. Throw up the C-suite of Kuvera, the CEO, CFO. It's going to be on the website for sure. Just throw
Yeah.
it up there for me.
If you go to-
I'm going to bet dollars to donuts they're Mormons, but that's a good thing. no, but listen. My accountant's
You
a
got to
Mormon.
get past this, buddy.
No. Listen, Mormons are like, listen, there's so many. First of all, the Mormon church is growing like crazy. It's one of the fastest growing religions in the world.
What about outside of Utah?
No, all over the world, dude. More like places like the Philippines and Indonesia. I'm telling you.
That's news to me.
Okay, and second of all,
They're doing a lot of
there's
missionary
so
work.
many Mormon businessmen that are successful, man. You wouldn't even know. And as soon as you hear Utah, they're home. But anyway.
Well, they work hard. They work hard. They,
Oh, for
they-
sure.
they
My
most
drill.
important thing
accountant's
right
a
there.
Mormon. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get a couple of elders on the live show actually, because I'm super interested in them. You know, so many different people. You find out that guy's a Mormon. This guy's a Mormon.
Well, if these guys were
Where are the Catholics, man? Come on,
if
Catholics.
these guys were Wall Street guys to start with, they probably are just skiers.
Ah.
And
All speculations. Right?
maybe it's a tax-free state as well. I'm not sure. That's something for Matt too.
So there's no handouts. You're striving to make the best version of yourself. Okay. Right now, I'm going to give you a little theory. Okay. So I don't believe in memory. Okay. I don't believe in remembering anything. Okay. I think that you're no, seriously. I think that the human memory.
I think I know where you're going with this.
The human memory is not evolved to remember anything. It's
can't go
evolved
off your
to predict
memory.
the future. Okay. So let me do a little test with you.
Okay.
Where were you on July 13th, 2017?
Couldn't tell you.
Right. But okay, now, if I gave you an hour to go through your schedule and look back through your stuff, you could probably find out, right?
Probably.
Right? Can you picture it? Like, let's say could you picture like your house in Toronto on a summer day?
Yep.
Picture it in your mind.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is do July 13th, 2019. Just picture what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Does it look exactly the same?
No.
No, it doesn't. So that picture in your head? Okay, so what are you projecting into that? Your future? Right? What do you see?
I see him around some palm trees.
Okay.
Definitely enjoying life. I have a drink beside me. Some good people around me.
Palm
Right.
trees in Toronto.
Right. So you see
I'm
that.
not here. I'm not here.
You're not here.
No.
Okay. So you can see that in your mind, right? Does it look the same essence as a memory?
No.
No, but no, I'm telling you, does it look the same? I'm not telling you if you look the same in it. What I'm saying is the feeling of it, is it the same? So looking down the road and looking back looks the same in our heads.
Right.
It looks exactly the same. So when you say to yourself, well, where are you going to be? I'm going to be in my podcast studio with Kareem. I can look forward at that. I can see Kareem. I can see me. And the memories and the future look the same if you just really take the exercise to do it. Where are you going to be in 10 years, brother? Tell me.
Palm trees.
Exact. Not here.
Not here. Why not here?
I feel like there's a lot of life that I want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done a lot of traveling. Yeah, I've done some traveling, obviously, a couple times a year I go traveling, but I just love to see new things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people just limit themselves to one city or one country, and there's so many stuff out there. I feel like you have to enjoy life. A lot of people wait to that retirement stage to try to, let's just say, enjoy it, but you don't have the energy. You're not essentially doing what you can do, let's just say when you're mid-30s or late 30s. I think.
What are you saying, man?
I'm saying that people need to enjoy what they're doing and live life, and don't live life for a Saturday. Sunday.
Oh, sure.
I think it's a terrible cycle that we need to break out of. But if we continue doing the same thing and have that fixated mindset of, okay, well, I have this job, linear income, that's not going to lead you to where you want to go, because you have to have diversified income. And having
Absolutely.
that, you know that you can travel somewhere, and at least you know you have money coming in that can take care of
So
bills.
you don't have any kids in your future.
No. Yes.
But you just
I do.
you just
But you
made
still
a,
wanted-
you just
Yeah.
made a financially literate statement there. Okay, you just did when you said
Subconsciously.
no. You came out and you said, without diversity and without a diversified angle to life, and with a linear job, you're never going to get rich. Nobody ever got rich with a salary.
Facts.
That never happened.
Mhm.
I mean, unless you're a golden parachute CEO for a Fortune 500 company, maybe.
Very small.
But the
percentage.
vast majority of people will never get rich living on their salary. They got to do something else. Not only will you not get rich, but you'll never even really get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You'll always be behind the eight ball. The banks won't loan you the money. You'll never be able to buy a house. You'll never be able to do this sort of stuff. You can't get rich on a salary. You got to get a piece of the action. You do that by being a salesperson. You do that by being a business owner. I'm not going to say with Kuvera Global, but you got to get involved.
Something
Yeah.
that's going to pay you passively. I think that's just the main
Agreed.
main key right here.
I think you got a lot of hard lessons in your future, but I think they're going to make you a better man, dude.
I appreciate that, and I'm going to embrace it all.
Yeah.
I
That's
guess
the only way for me to be the better
I've been
person,
wanting
right?
to ask this question, but the hard lesson is, so how are you prepared for the big loss that's coming your way?
That's a great question. How am I going to prepare? By doing as much as I can to set certain aspects of my life in order. My finances, make sure that's set up, so anything that were to come, let's say the recession's coming. We know the recession's coming.
And
So people that are set up for that, at least they're better prepared, I feel.
because it gets back to mitigation of risk. And when I learned the
Mhm.
word mitigation of risk, and it was off a guy's business card in Raleigh, North Carolina, he said risk mitigator. I said, I think I know what that means. Tell me what that means. Well, you know what I do? I walk around and I make sure that this aspect of our business, we're insured. And it wasn't about insurance. He was using the word insured to talk about how they're preparing to limit losses, limit losses, limit losses, limit losses,
Big right
limit
there.
losses.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in my 20s, I loved the market. My dad did well in the market in the 70s. He bought a car investing in IBM, I think a white Caprice Classic. He was happy to tell us. I don't know if he was just saying.
He was the old St. Marie man was balling.
He was exaggerating to a 12-year-old, and it didn't matter if it paid for part of it or all of it. It didn't matter. But I wanted to invest, and man, I lost in the .coms.
That's because you're a loser, man.
You know what? That's funny you should say that, not looking in a mirror. But it is irony. But we lost with Nortel. We lost a lot of money with Nortel. Remember, it was so high,
Oh, yeah.
and then it dropped, and everybody said, it's cheap, buy it. Well, it just kept going through the floor.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
But they were sexy stocks.
Yeah.
They were, not alone Briex. We loved watching that one, but we never played it. But
I'll tell you this. There's a lot of investing in the stock market and this sort of thing. I think honestly, you're on the right path, Kareem. I think this is your first step.
There's so much more that for me to learn.
Yes.
I already know this 100%.
Yes.
Because I've only been in the financial space for 3 years.
Yeah.
Before that, I was dabbling in different industries, health and wellness. I did home essentials. Now it's finance. So it's completely new to me. I'm learning every day. So like I said, I'm striving to be the best person I can.
Yeah, I think your biggest strength, there's an aura of confidence and calmness about you that I sense, and like you're not afraid to admit the truth. You don't become defensive, and your ego doesn't get in the way of having an open conversation about facts, and you're absorbing truth. I think that your idea of being a message spreader, like somebody that is going out spreading a message, is probably the best part of what you're doing.
I've been doing that for quite some time.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that.
I see it in you. Like it's like I think it's the thing you like the most. It's like you found this pot of gold, and you're like, man,
Who can I take
no
it to?
one ever told me about this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not like you hoarded it. You're like, hey, bro, it's a mindset.
well, that's what I look at them.
It's a
It's the networking,
yeah.
right? You're in the finance and you're making money on it, but I think what you've just said, you might just have that gift for networking,
Yes.
that connectedness, right?
It's a part of that, and I also
you
like
see that?
helping people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I can see it
I
in
went
you.
to I went to school for criminology, so I wanted to be a detective. I felt like
Sure.
the term Detective Marshall sounded good, had a nice ring to it. So I was
have a
just
nice
going
ring to
through that mind space where I want to help people, but I just didn't know if I wanted to risk my life, risk everything for that. I was like, what if I can help somebody a better way? And this kind of led me to where I am today.
Yeah, the word connectedness is a phrase attributed to certain aspects of a personality. And not everybody can do it. I can't do it that well, but I could get that also. And you mentioned the calmness too. It's just the lack of the chill, right? The lack of stress, the lack of
you got a good vibe, dude.
Appreciate that.
But that's people. When you can get a network, and this is just a great example. You got 300 people already, man.
You just got to sit back and think what more you can do with it, man.
Absolutely.
Because finance is fun, but money's boring, right? It's a very boring topic.
It depends on how much you're counting.
Yeah, it's still boring after a while. You're still just talking about cash,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Not a lot of people, they're skeptical towards the whole idea, and they just want to be comfortable in their own state. So, like you said, I like connecting with people and showing them what I learned. So it's up to you what you want to do with it at the end of the day.
The other thing about you is that I think that you're in a good position at your age for what you're doing, but the thing that strikes me the most is that vibe and that connectedness. I think you're on a good path here, Kareem. Hey man, thanks for coming on the Get a Grip on Life show, bro.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. Nice conversation with you guys, and I appreciate every nice thing you guys said to me.
Throw out the social media there so people can follow you if they're listening.
Definitely. If you want to connect with me, this is Marshall at Instagram, and Facebook is Kareem Marshall. Very simple to write down, very simple to find. Connect with me, and maybe we can have a conversation.
Cool. All right, man. Thanks for coming on.
That's great, man.
Thank you.
Hey, man. Thanks, Kareem Marshall, for coming on the show today, and for Desi Ste for your first co-hosting gig, man.
Thanks,
so
man.
make sure, hey, if you want to check out Kareem Marshall, all his links are in the show notes. All the stuff we talked about will be in the show notes. His Instagram, all the stuff he does. Check that out. But Desi, what'd you think of Kareem?
Well, Michael, if you were in your 20s, would you, and you heard about that club, would you join it?
Nope.
I would be all over it.
Would you? Yeah.
Why wouldn't you join it?
Because when I was in my teens, I worked for we did this on the other show, but I worked for AdFX.
Sure, you had your entrepreneurial kick.
And, and I'm suspicious. I was always after. AdFX was great. I learned a lot there, but there's a little, and I'm not going to say this. I love Kareem. I think he's a great kid. I think his future is really bright. There's a little bit of a cult smell to that thing. That I'd have to dig into it more, but it's like you're in this thing and you got to spread the word. It's like being a part of the.
It's a bit of a pyramid to get.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly the specifics of his business, and I think he's being honest and direct with us. So I don't want to say it, but when I was in my 20s, I never liked that. That never passed my smell test. So, I mean, you would have done it. But I think it's what I love about Kareem is that he's stepping back from life. He's taking a look at what's going on. He's saying, I want a piece of the action. And whenever I see that from somebody, it's like, okay, guess what? You're about to learn a lot of hard lessons. But that's part of it, man.
One of them is make sure you've got your affairs in order, your overhead in order, because you can't take risks like that if you're betting if your house is at stake, or your living arrangements, or your vehicle, or anything like that. And by that I mean a lot of times if you stay closer to home in your earlier years of your 20 after you graduate or do whatever, you can take some risks without losing your domicile.
I would say the biggest risk you can take is staying close to home. I think you got to get the hell out of your parents' house, get out into the world, pay some rent, pay some bills, I think that's how you become a man, son.
That's exactly what I tell my boys, though. I
Get
said,
the hell out of my house.
Get ready, boys. If you don't think it's important now to study and to listen and learn, get ready, because I'm kicking you out of the house. I promise I'm going to kick you out of the house. Don't be surprised. You're going to have to stand outside on your own. And as my dad always said, you're in charge of keeping the wolf from the door. And think about that as long as you want. But there's always a wolf outside the door, and it's your job to keep him from coming in.
Yeah, man.
It's a metaphor for a lot of things.
So I like Kareem's trajectory right now. And like I said to him, there's something about that Maven-like message passing, super cool, and he's gaining in his financial literacy. I think he's got to walk that path. And if I were him, I would open, go even farther into that, because he's such a cool cat, man. And he's got his eyes open. So Kareem, go get him, buddy.
Keep networking.
Yeah, man. Keep that going,
He
bro.
can spread that. He's got 300 clients already. Man, that's going to double every year if he does it right.
Yeah.
right? Especially the little ticklers they got out. Hey, we'll waive your fee if you bring in more people.
Whatever they got going, man. We can make money doing that stuff, so don't kid yourself. But I you know what I think? I think this is just the beginning for him. I really do. So,
Well, depending on the losses, right? You never know. Market crash wipes everybody out pretty
but
fast.
You know what though? If you get wiped out, that's when you got to stand back up. Remember that guy that started Gold Corp? He's got a scholarship named after him.
Peter Monk?
Peter Monk. He had in his office, I think his parents died in the Holocaust. Okay. And I think it was in the camp or something like that, his dad had a net worth statement.
That's cheeky.
No, he did. I think it was like $1 or $1.50 or $3 or whatever it was. And he had his net worth statement, right? And Peter Monk kept that and framed it and put it in his office. You know, that knowing what you're worth.
Little motivators.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think it was Peter Monk. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was.
I don't know his story.
Yeah, but that was so beautiful when I heard that. I'm like, man, even there, he's still keeping track. Even there, he's trying to make a move, trying to figure things out. He's got his little, in the camp, he's, doing things. So never give up.
Net worth is a big thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, net worth, I never even considered till I was working with this guy who was in his 20s and I was in my 30s, and he started talking about it, and I went, you calculate that every year? It's how I track my economic success.
I calculate it every month. Not every month, every quarter.
There you go.
If you don't know your net worth, you don't know if you're getting rich or not.
And I introduced that to my teens. My kids who were in my teens who made money, wanted to spend it all. And I said, well, what about your net worth? And that was the thing. So you can actually keep that money, put it in the market. It can do some work for you. Really? I don't just have to spend it as soon as I get it. Oh, 14-year-old girls. They were...
You know what I mean?
It's not girls either. The boys spend it just as fast, but...
How dare you?
You always say that. Can a guy refer to sex without being criticized?
No, dude, you can't.
Yes, I can. I just did.
Okay.
I just did.
You can. I can. I can do whatever I want. Why? Because I'm the host of the Get a Grip on Life podcast, buddy. And with that, it's a wrap. Thanks for listening.